it's Lee and Belinda.
It's us again.
From Chateau Mareuil. So, once again, we just want to thank you for watching our films. You seem to be enjoying them. We're certainly enjoying making them, aren't we, Lee?
Definitely.
And you seem to want more. And quite a few people have asked to see more cookery. Sorry, Lee, your turn soon. So what I thought I'd do... I
think there was quite a lot of people who like the history of the place as well.
Yeah.
And being shown around the garden.
Maybe. So what I thought I'd do today is something I've talked about endlessly so far, which is jam. So you've seen me...
More jam.
More jam. So you've seen me talk about it. I've shown you pots of jam. I've even shown you crochet pot covers for jam.
Which last time were absent. But so, I think Belinda's got a bit of a surprise in store this time.
So today I thought, right, I'll make jam. And I'm going to make jam. I wanted to make something from the potager. We don't have anything cropping at the moment. And most of you who've watched us before will know our story of our plumcot tree, which has produced one baby fruit. So I can't make any jam from that tree. I was out yesterday and saw a bargain kilogram box of apricots. So I thought, voila, I'm going to make apricot jam. I love apricots. Look at these beautiful apricots. Aren't they pretty? They're just such a lovely colour. So I bought those yesterday. As I said, I really wanted to make something from the garden, but there's nothing quite ready yet. So I bought those and we're going to make apricot jam today. Do you know, I think there's a bit of mystique about jam making. I've been making it for a long time now. And I think I learnt from my mother and my grandmother. I seem to remember learning from them. But yeah, I've been making it for a long time and I've got quite confident with it now. But I do know for some people it holds a bit of mystery. So I thought today I'd try and dispel some of that and show you how very, very easy it is to make jam.
I, for one, who will be standing behind the camera during this exercise.
What, just in case you get
scared
burnt?
Of jam or scared of making jam. I like eating it, but it's scared
I think
the life out
it's true. I think you're right. I think it's the heat. I think people are worried about the jam coming out of the pan and hitting their skin and burning them.
Oh, for me, it's about the texture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not getting it sticky enough because it always runs.
True.
I've only ever done it once before, and it was more like a Ribena liquid than it was a jam.
First things first. You need to sterilise jars for jam. If you don't, the jam risks getting a bacteria in it and will go mouldy and you won't be able to eat it and keep it for a long time. So that's very, very important and I'll show you how to do that in a minute.
Can I just say,
yeah.
Misty Job is sitting over there very, very interested in the jam making process.
She's got her new hairstyling.
And she had her hair cut yesterday.
And she had her feet
and nails done. And this evening we're going around to some friends of ours and Misty can come too, so she's got a play date. So Muppet. She's made up for a play date with Muppet.
Anyway, we digress. So I've got my kilo of apricots for jam. This is so simple. Rule of thumb, 1 kilo of fruit, 1 kilo of sugar. You can make jam with less sugar, but I typically make an even weight. And for this jam, also we're going to use the juice and rind of a lemon and 250 mils of water. And some butter. What I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to chop the apricots. I'm going to cut them in halves or probably quarters because they're quite a good size. And although you want chunks in jam, you don't want massive half apricots in it. So that's the first job. And so when they're chopped, I'm going to mix them with the water and the lemon juice in my lovely preserving pan. But you can use a good heavy duty saucepan for the job. That'll do just fine. What you can do also is if you can be bothered and if you've got the time, you can use the stones. You can bash these stones with a rolling pin, maybe in a tea towel or something, so you don't get flying shards of, threw that in too quickly, flying shards of stone. And the little kernels in the middle, you can put some of those in the jam for flavouring. You can remove them before you pot. But they do give a very nice almond flavour, but I'm not going to do that today. So here they are, looking lovely, all chopped into quarters. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use some grated lemon rind in this recipe. I love grated lemon rind. This is a great lemon rind tool, by the way. Just going to get this all off really quickly. I think it adds a really lovely flavour to jam. It's just a nice bit of sharpness, bit of contrast to the all that sugar you're using. That's probably about enough actually. There we go. I'm going to squeeze some lemon juice in. I've got this left over. I'm going to use it up. I'm just going to squeeze. That's equivalent to about 1 small lemon. You could use something like that. You could use lemon juice in a bottle if you haven't got any fresh lemon juice. There we are. I'll get it all out. And 250 mils of water. And I'm now going to put that on a gentle heat. Bring it slowly to the boil and cook it gently till the fruit's nice and soft. Although I won't be wasting this lemon, just so you know, I'll be using that for something else. Just taking the outer rind off. Right, the next thing I'm going to do
Belinda doesn't waste
I don't waste
thing.
anything. The next thing I'm going to do is put this on the hob and bring it to a gentle boil.
In fact, the only thing you've ever said you've wasted is your breath on me of an occasion.
Oh, harsh. Okay, let's put this on. We've got a gas hob here.
Now this hob is a tricky one because it went out of control last time, didn't it, Belinda?
Well, it was the dessert that went out of control that I cooked on this. Some of you might have seen me in a previous episode, burning sugar.
Yeah, and then there was the episode of the ice cream maker that took over the kitchen.
That's true. So these are going to come to a gentle boil. I can leave those, but what I'm going to do in the meanwhile is put the jars that I've washed with hot soapy water, rinsed thoroughly, and I'm now going to put them in the oven at 140 degrees for about 10 minutes. And I can get the labels off afterwards. I haven't got all the labels off. I may not even use those ones. I'm going to pop them in this oven for later. So this is done now, I'm pretty sure. This is nice and soft. I'm going to turn the gas off and I'm going to add the sugar. You can also see what I'm doing there. Oops.
So how long's that been on the gas for?
About 10 minutes, to be honest.
10 minutes.
It hasn't taken very long. But what I'm doing here, I'm also sterilising the lids for the jam pots in boiling water.
I thought you were boiling eggs there.
No. So I'm going to turn those off for the time being. I'm going to take this over to my table.
Oh, can I just have a look at that? See what that.
Looks lovely, doesn't it?
Oh, it's mulched down really
smells
nice.
lovely
Mulched
too.
down, can
Mulch.
you say that?
Yeah, you could.
Possibly not, it's mulched down
Bit
it.
of a gardening term, Lee. There we are.
Well, I'm becoming more and more of a gardener.
True, you are.
As I get older. Living in a chateau does that to you, you know. You start to think about self-sufficiency.
So what I'm going to do now is add 1 kilogram of sugar and dissolve it completely in this hot, fruity compote. This is actually jam
I like
sugar.
that, fruity compote.
It's a
that
fruity
sounds very
compote.
sensual.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your fruity compote.
My fruity,
before the
another look at my fruity,
sugar go. Yes, whoa.
My fruity compote.
With a wooden spoon.
It'll be even fruitier soon and sweeter, Lee.
Sweet
with
as.
the sugar in it.
Oh, do you need any gin or vodka to go?
No, I don't need gin or vodka. This is
it's
an
just
alcohol-free
I know where I can find some.
preserve. So I'm going to stir that in completely until it dissolves in that lovely hot liquid. It smells delicious, by the way.
Well, that's
Ooh,
really good for TV.
Fruit and
audience, isn't
sugar,
it?
that's absolutely yum. And I'm also going to pop in just a knob of butter.
What's that for?
So, oops, the butter, what it does, it dispels any sort of scum to rise from to the surface.
Don't
so
want no scum in my
it's
kitchen.
any sort of impurities. The butter helps to dispel that for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it certainly helps to take away any.
I'm going to use a technical term now. Would it be an
scum.
emulsifier?
It could be.
Oh.
No, it could be.
Oh,
I genuinely don't know. So.
Emulsifying agent.
So I'm going to pop this back on the stove now because the sugar's dissolved pretty
The butter's
much.
not dissolved though, does that matter?
It won't take a second on the back on the hob.
Good. Get it in there. And how long after this is done and you've potted it up can you actually eat it?
Straight away.
Straight away?
Absolutely. You can eat it hot if you want to.
So how come then with my gin I've got to wait 4 months? You know, just to remind people, I made some cherry gin.
Really?
And put it in jars, and I was told that's got to sit there for 4 months.
Yeah.
But your jams can be done immediately.
Yeah. Chutneys you
Funny
need to
that,
keep.
that.
Chutney needs to keep. Because it's to do with the flavours melding together and maturing. But jam, you can pretty much eat straight away.
Whenever I've seen people make jam before, they always put a splodge of it on a plate. And I haven't seen you do that.
Well, I'm going to be doing that in a minute.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's just coming to the boil now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in this very handy jam thermometer. Well, it's a sugar thermometer really, which you can use for other types of sweets and caramel and things like that. But I always use it for jam, so I'm going to pop it in.
I notice you've got a lot of gadgets.
I do. I love my kitchen gadgets. There we are. So I'm going to pop
was that thing
in.
to hook it on the side of the pan?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And can you see? Look, can you see the red? Obviously, you can see the line going up. Can you see? And when it hits jam, which is there, just over the 100, that should mean the jam is at setting point.
That's clever, isn't it?
And
so you don't even have to think about it.
Well, it's quite reliable, actually. I mean, I will use the splodging on saucers test as well.
Oh, I want the splodging on saucers.
So I was taught to splodge on saucers.
You're just an old-fashioned girl, really, aren't you?
I do what my granny used to do and my mummy used to do. Because you see, actually, that's already reached the jam temperature, and I don't think that's anywhere near setting point. And I've made apricot jam before and used this method, and it's been very sloppy.
You're not using instruments that are out of calibration, Belinda, are you?
Do you know, that could be a distinct possibility, Lee. The jam's boiling really hard over there. I'm not sure about the temperature that the thermometer is working properly, so I think I'm going to do the splodge test, as Lee so eloquently put it. So behind me, here's one I made earlier. No, seriously, there's some saucers that I had chilling in the fridge.
Are they from your vintage
collection? Well, they're scraps from my vintage collection, as you can see. That's a pretty one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go and pop a bit of jam, splodge a bit of jam on a chilled saucer and see how we go. Just like that.
Well, it looks like an egg.
I'm just going to pop it in the fridge for a minute or so and see how it looks.
Can you tell us what you're doing now, please, Belinda? What's happening?
So what I'm doing now is panicking slightly because
we've got to the panic moment. There's always a panic moment.
This is beginning to look like toffee, apricot toffee.
Let's have a look.
So I'm just a bit. I mean, it's a beautiful colour, but you can see what's happening around the sides.
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
I mean, that's definitely, you could wrap that up and put it in a sweetie, couldn't you? So I'm just a bit concerned. I think it might be ready. I'm just going to go and check on
your taste test.
My splodge test.
Why is it we always have these moments
when you're cooking? I mean, I'm normally quite good at this.
Hang on. Let me see. Let me see what you're going to do with the egg.
Ooh.
Oh, it's wrinkly.
There's a slight wrinkle, isn't there?
It's what you call a soft set.
Do you know? I think that's delicious. I think that's good enough. And I think even if I make a soft set, do you know a soft set is a very French jam? Doesn't need to
that's
be,
lovely.
It doesn't need to be hard, does it? You can, with a croissant, it's going to be absolutely delicious.
That's just nice, yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do now is get ready to pot.
Pot!
I think it's done. I'm going to take the thermometer out, which was useless to me this time around, I have to say. Pop in there. Now the jars are ready to come out of the oven. They were in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 140 degrees. They're very hot. I'm just going to pop them down before I come a cropper with them. And then I'm going to bring the...
That's a technical kitchen term, to come a cropper.
Come a cropper. And then I'm going to bring the jam over.
Let's have a look.
To my potting station.
And this is where you go to pot, is it?
Yeah, this is my potting station today.
A potting station.
Now, do you know what? That butter really worked.
Oh, is it stopped
because
the scum coming into my kitchen?
There's no scum in that.
No scum.
Which is pretty good. There's a few little bubbles, but I think we're okay with that. So the next thing we're going to do is get ready to pot the jam.
Oh, this is the good bit. It starts
Which is
getting
the
good
bit I like.
Are you going to need a hot? They're boiling hot. They've just come straight out of the oven.
That's the whole point. I've got my handy
your potting
jam
tool.
Potting tool. There.
Where's your funnel? Your specialist funnel?
My specialist funnel's here.
Oh God, got to be on it all the time, haven't I?
Yeah, all my equipment.
All your equipment.
So what we're going to do, we're just going to fill one jam jar, that pretty little jam jar there. Can you see? Just going to pop that in there like that.
Right.
Start
and then
slopping
you slop
it
it in. Bish bash bosh, slip slap slop.
Ooh,
in
see
it
that
goes.
sizzling? It goes.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, look, I can see it in the jar.
Look.
It's actually sizzling in the jar. Never seen that before.
Yeah. That's because they're so hot. And that is such a sterile environment now. I think this is pretty much the last jar now. So it would have made about 5 jars. And there might be a bit left over, Lee, for you to have for breakfast tomorrow.
Lovely. That on my croissant.
With some croissants.
Lovely.
Toast. But do you know what this would also be lovely with? Seriously, as a sauce with ice cream, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Or with a pork
chop.
Pork chop and apricot sauce. Oh,
it would.
Lovely.
It would be absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Actually, I have got a bit more.
If you keep one soft,
what?
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. So there's just the last little bit here.
So while you're just doing that, was this to get 6? You've actually got 6 jars out of this, haven't you?
Really? That was 1 kilo of apricots.
How much is a kilo of apricots?
I can't remember. I think that was about €3.50.
Right.
I may have got that wrong. I was in such a rush with the shopping yesterday, and actually there was only 1 box of the apricots left, and there was no price. I just grabbed them because they'd clearly been such a popular item.
That is one of the things around it here in France.
Honestly, there was
district.
nothing left.
It's very seasonable, and as soon as stuff goes in the supermarket or whatever, it sells out really quickly, and they don't bother restocking it.
There's the jam. The next thing I'm going to do is pop some lids on.
Pop the lids on.
So they're over.
Yeah, those bad boys.
Good, don't they?
Yeah. So €3.50 for the apricots.
I think they were 3.5.
And how much was the sugar? Belinda, what are you doing now?
So I'm going to pop some lids on. So just a word about lids. Clearly these are second-hand jars. They're not new. I bought product in them and they're thoroughly cleaned and sterilised. Lids are thoroughly cleaned and sterilised, but just a point, the lids do need to be in quite good condition. So if they're a bit bashed up, maybe not use them because you won't get the nice airtight seal. I'm just going to clean that dry with some nice sterile clean paper. And just so hot. Oh, pop it on, screw it on tight. So that's the jam potted. So that made nearly 6 jars, that kilo of apricots and that kilo of sugar. That's pretty good. So
sorry, just before you go on.
Yeah,
so the sugar was about €1.
Just under €1.
Just under €1.
Apricots were probably €3.50.
So it's €4.50.
4.5 lemon
6
juice.
pots of jam and a squeeze of lemon.
Yeah. So what's that?
That's
6 eighths of 48, 6 sevens of 42. Yeah, 75 cents maybe a jar.
75 cents a jar.
If that, and it's lovely
and
homemade
it's all homemade jam. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, what I always do, these are sticky now. I'm sticky. These are sticky. I'm going to put them in some nice soapy hot water, really sticky, to clean off. And also this helps the sort of canning process, and you'll hear the lids pop eventually.
I think that one won't. It's gone underwater.
That's
a submarine one.
It's a submarine jam.
It's submarine jam. Periscope up.
And
pop.
So we'll sort those out later on. But I just wanted to show you last thing. So anyone who's seen me with my jam making before.
Ah, the lids have made a return, Belinda.
Me for my little crochet hats for my jam jars to cover up any sort of pickle, particularly dill pickles or Indian pickles that might not look very nice on top of a jar of jam. So I've crocheted these lids, and this colour was especially for the apricot, but the rhubarb was modelling it at the moment. Looks nice, doesn't it?
Modelled by the rhubarb jam and the apricot
and
lids.
the cherry, the puce pink is being modelled by the cherry jam.
And where's the cherry gin, Belinda?
The cherry gin is yonder, next to the pickled radishes.
The
you
cherry
can eat
gin,
the pickled radishes, but you can't have the cherry.
For those that don't know, I made cherry gin in the last and was told by Belinda it would take at least 4 months to ripen. Everything else takes immediate or a week. So
that was my whistle-stop tour around the world of jam making. No, seriously, it didn't take very long. It really is simple. I hope I've dispelled any fear for you. If you've never made jam before, give it a go. I make it all the time. Lee, if you take the camera over there, can you see how many pots there are over there? Actually, they're not all jam, are they? There's chutney, there's jam, there's gin.
There's gin
there's
over there.
pickles,
there's gin in them there hills.
And there's 3 more
and
jars
it needs
here,
liberating.
and there's 6 more jars. You know, there must be 20 jars. How are we going to eat this lot? Anyway.
How am I going to drink that lot? It's a litre and a half of gin.
Don't waste anything. Turn it into jam and your life will be all the better for it.
There's a Bob Marley song in there somewhere.
Bye for now.